Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
Kyle Benjamin Douglas Calbert, a 26-year-old from Irondale, Alabama, has been sentenced to 9 years in federal prison for detonating an explosive device outside the Alabama Attorney General's office in Montgomery. The attack, which occurred in February, was motivated by his extremist ideologies, with stickers at the scene expressing support for groups like Antifa and Trans-Tifa, if I remember correctly, and slogans targeting government authority. Law enforcement praised the collaborative effort that led to his arrest and emphasized the serious threat such actions pose to public safety and democratic governance. You know, somebody tried to bomb the Attorney General's office in Alabama over politics. That you might think, that seems like relatively big news. The national media was completely disinterested in this story when it happened, and a bomb went off, and they did not care. Wonder why? Oh, yeah, Republicans.
Number 6.
Now, United States Senator-elect Dave McCormick's victory in Pennsylvania's Senate race. The U.S. Senate is secured. It marks a significant Republican gain, flipping a key seat and contributing to the GOP's Senate majority. Senator Bob Casey, a Democrat out of Pennsylvania, obviously, had a strong political legacy, an extensive campaign that also included a very, 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 very expensive campaign. McCormick's appeal that basically, hey, I'm a good guy, I'm not like those other Democrats, did not work. This outcome highlights Pennsylvania's critical role in national elections and reshapes the map yet again. But forget about that. The pathetic loser tweeted out that all public service is about trust. This is a guy who could not accept the results of an election. Will he get destroyed? Doubtful.
Number 5.
Alabama United States Senator Katie Britt, a Republican out of Auburn. That's incorrect. It's a Republican out of Montgomery. That's where she's living. She has been appointed as a vice chair of the National Republican Senatorial Committee. And I laughed as people online were like, yeah, that's what I thought. She's part of the swamp. It's like, she's a United States Senator, guys. You don't want her. I just want to make sure I understand this. You don't want her on the National Republican Senatorial Committee. Like, this is someone you want to send out to different places and have be like one of the faces of the Republican Party. Okay. I don't know why you think that, but okay, sure. She joins other key figures, including Senators Marsha Blackburn, Ted Bunn, Pete Ricketts from various places. The NRSC chairman, Tim Scott, is doing a great job as well, obviously. And this role involves mobilization and expanding the Electoral College map. That's what they should be using Katie Britt for. Makes a lot of sense to me.
Number 4.
Several Alabama congressmen have called on the National Institutes of Health to release the results of a study on the effects of puberty blockers on the mental health of transgender youth. Now, why are they talking about this? Well, a study was done, and that study found there was no significant mental health improvements after 2 years of taking puberty blockers. But the National Institute of Health has withheld publication of that study, citing political repercussions. Meaning, we did a study that didn't turn out how we wanted it to, and the people who told us it wasn't going to turn out the way we wanted it to, they're Republicans, and we don't want to give them ammunition. That's the truth. Representative Gary Palmer said that this delay in this release undermines the scientific process. That's true. The other Alabama Congressman, Mike Rogers, said we need to have transparency because this was paid for with taxpayer dollars. That's true.
Number 3.
Carrie Dale Grayson. This is an individual who committed what is, and I cannot put this in any other way, a brutal murder. His victim was found at the bottom of a bluff near Odenville, Alabama on February 26, 1994. They were hitchhiking, and 4 teens offered her a ride. They beat her up, threw her off a cliff, and then returned to mutilate her body. They had to look at her spine in order to figure out who it was. They cut her fingers off, and the people involved were showing the fingers to their friends. This person was put to death yesterday, and cool. I think it's good. Ivey kills another. I'm fine with that. I do want to say this. It is time to stop the naming the prison after Kay Ivey thing. That's wrong. It's time to start naming cemeteries after Kay Ivey because she's killing people, and I am a super fan of that. Let's do that.
Number 2.
Poor gay people down in Auburn. Super bigoted down there at Auburn. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Gay people in 2024 are having to pretend they're being oppressed, which is the truth, on Auburn's campus because of President-elect Donald Trump and after diversity, equity, and inclusion offices are being closed. The students are so impressed they're doing interviews with AL.com about it. I'm scared. Oh, what's my name? Oh, it's this. The whines about the closing of exclusively gay safe spaces and people making homophobic jokes, even though they know that I'm queer. That's basically what they're whining about. It really drives home the fearful environment. Someone said words I didn't like. Oh, my God. By the way, it's so scary on this college campus that they're having to go off campus and do fellowship in public parks, because they're scared of being in public, so they go to a public park and do gay fellowship. Right. Great. Wonderful.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
In a completely predictable move, former U.S. Representative Matt Gaetz, a Republican out of Florida, has withdrawn his nomination as Attorney General in Donald Trump's potential future administration, despite previously being selected for that role. Well, that's usually how it works. Take yourself out of the process. His decision comes amid growing concerns over his past, including an investigation into sex trafficking allegations, which, by the way, the sex trafficking allegations are made by someone who is sitting in jail right now for making false sex trafficking allegations to give out somebody else. Just FYI. There are some creepy things that are in his past, and a lot of people are conflating these things. The sex trafficking thing is one allegation. The other is that he was banging 17-year-olds when he was 30. That's kind of creeping people out. The sex trafficking thing is a bit much, but that's where we are. I never thought he was going to get in. There were tons of issues with him. People didn't like him. People didn't want him there. All this stuff, that was the issue. So he was never going to be able to get through the confirmation process. He resigned from the House because he was going to have some issues there. Potentially expelling him from the House could have happened. There's a lot of questions about whether Matt Gaetz will go back and show up when they swear in the new House. That's not going to happen. That's over. That's like House of Cards stuff. There's talk about him being appointed by Ron DeSantis as the senator from Florida. Again, that's House of Cards stuff. Ron DeSantis and him are friendly. I know that. But I just don't foresee Ron DeSantis walking in and inserting that into his world. I mean, just think about it. Ron DeSantis wants to run for something in the future. Does appointing Matt Gaetz to the Senate after he couldn't get through a confirmation process to be AG sound like something he wants to do? I doubt it. Pam Bondi, former Florida Attorney General. She's the replacement nominee. She is known as a staunch supporter of Trump, a enemy of illegal immigration, a tough on crime prosecutor. And look, this is exactly what you should want. Pam Bondi is the right choice. She is exactly what you should want as an attorney general. Someone with prosecutorial experience, someone who, Donald Trump wants someone that's going to be able to defend her position, or his positions, excuse me. This is exactly what you should want. Again, 20 years as a prosecutor. She was the attorney general of the state of Florida. She has the experience, she has the background, and she is going to be confirmed. This is the right kind of choice you make. This is a good choice. Pam Bondi is very good on that. So way to go, Donald Trump. This is a very good thing that he did here. So Pam Bondi will be your next attorney general. I know a lot of you have said about Gaetz. You want to have Matt Gaetz in there. He's going to work in the administration in some capacity, but he's not going to be confirmed. He's not going to be a United States senator. He's going to be like the undersecretary to something somewhere. So that's what he'll be doing. It will not be in a confirmable capacity. Let's just put it that way. All right. If you'd like to weigh in here, you absolutely can. Pick up the phone right now and get in here. 866-494-WVNN. We have our question of the day that is on the table. You can answer that. Is Dale sexist? Can we point out when Dale was sexist? And should he leave Andrea Alvarez alone, the Huntsville City School Board member who is spinning out and crashing out because she doxed his kid? speaking to the third person for some reason here. You can get those answers in. We got a $50 gift card to Twin Peaks. We got gift cards for range time at Less Lethal Security. We've got WVNN t-shirts for you. We're doing it all. It's $50 free for all Friday here on the Dale Jackson Show. Keep it locked right here. 7 Things brought to you by our friends at Scout Pest Control. That's incorrect. Brought to you by our friends over there at 2 Men in a Truck. 2 Men in a Truck, Huntsville.com. You need to talk to these guys. If you're making a move, don't do it yourself. Let 2 Men in a Truck do it. They'll do it quick. They'll do it fast. They'll do it for less money. You'll get 2 Men, a truck, and so much more. 2 Men in a Truck, Huntsville.com.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.